Have you ever considered that the universe is constantly vibrating? From the subtle hum of a distant star to the imperceptible tremor of the earth beneath your feet, everything is in motion. We are surrounded by a symphony of frequencies. But sometimes, just sometimes, the conditions are perfect for an everyday object to reveal its hidden voice. You step onto a bridge, wood, steel. The air is still, the world is quiet. But as you take your first step, a sound begins. It's not a bird, not the wind in the trees, not another person. It's the bridge itself, and it is singing. The sound is low, almost a moan, a long, drawn-out note that seems to rise from the very planks under your boots. It's a sound that doesn't belong. It follows you, shifting in pitch with each footfall, growing in volume as you move toward the center. People who cross it for the first time often stop dead in their tracks, their heads cocked, trying to place the origin of the eerie melody. They feel a small primal chill, a sense of disbelief mixing with wonder. This is not just a story or a myth. It is a real phenomenon. This is the true story of a bridge that found its voice, a crossing that performs a strange and beautiful concert for anyone who dares to walk its length. What you are hearing is not a ghost or a trick of the mind. It is a concert of physics, a beautiful accident of engineering and nature working in unplanned harmony. Over the course of this exploration, we will peel back the layers of this mystery. We will investigate why this specific bridge sings while countless others remain silent. We will look at the precise combination of materials, the specific weather conditions, and the fundamental scientific principles that transform a simple crossing into a massive, stringed instrument played by the forces of nature and the footsteps of travelers. To understand the song, you must first understand the instrument. Picture a modest structure, not a grand modern marvel of engineering like the Golden Gate. This bridge is old, humble, utilitarian. It stretches across a gentle creek in a valley shielded by rolling hills. A place where the wind can sometimes funnel and gather speed. The main walkway is constructed from long, heavy wooden planks, weathered by decades of sun, rain, snow. These planks are not perfectly fitted. Time has created tiny gaps between them. Their surface is rough with age. They are laid across a lattice of thin but strong metal support frames, not massive I-beams, but a more delicate, skeletal network. The sound itself is difficult to describe, as it seems to change, depending on who is listening and when. Most people report a low, sustained hum, similar to the note produced by running a wet finger around the rim of a crystal glass. It has a fundamental pitch that remains relatively constant, but it is layered with overtones, harmonics that give it a rich, complex quality. On a calm day, a single person walking slowly might only produce a faint, ghostly whisper. But on a windy afternoon with a few people crossing at once, the bridge can sing with surprising volume, its voice carrying across the valley, echoing off the nearby hills. The song is not just auditory, it's a tactile experience. As you walk, you can feel the vibrations through the soles of your shoes. It's a subtle tremor, a thrumming energy that courses through the wood and into your body. It makes the bridge feel alive, as if it is a great sleeping creature that stirs as you pass over it. This unsettles many first-time visitors. A bridge is supposed to feel solid, immutable. The feeling of it vibrating and singing beneath you is a profound reminder that even the most solid-seeming objects are in constant motion. Collections of atoms buzzing with energy, just waiting for the right push to make them sing. The materials are key actors. The wood, being organic, changes with the weather. When it's dry and brittle on a hot day, the sound is higher pitched, sharper, more reedy. After a long rain, swollen planks deepen the tone into a sonorous, cello-like groan. The metal frames provide rigidity and tension, like the body of a violin, holding the strings, the wooden planks, and amplifying their vibrations. Where wood meets metal, tiny friction becomes the seed of the bridge's powerful song. The people who live in the shadow of the singing bridge have a unique relationship with it. A local farmer, who has lived his entire life overlooking the valley, hears the bridge on still, crisp autumn dawns, a single pure note hanging in the cold air. He calls it the valley's way of waking up. He doesn't need a scientific explanation. For him, the bridge has a voice, as familiar as birds and wind. One young girl says the bridge sings differently based on her mood. When she skips, it plays a fast, light tune. When she drags her feet, it moans a slow, sorrowful song. The physics doesn't sense emotion, but her rhythm did change the vibration pattern, and the bridge responded in kind. A town historian recounts a fierce storm rolling in. Before winds hit the valley, the bridge began to hum with unprecedented intensity, a low, urgent warning. Farmers sheltered their livestock just before the downpour struck. To this day, some locals treat loud or agitated songs as omens of changing weather. Scientists who came to study the span recorded stories alongside sensor data, knowing that human experience matters as much as frequency measurements. The data can explain the how, but the stories explain the why. Why this singing bridge matters, why it captured imaginations, and why its preservation is passionately debated. Now, let's pull back the curtain and look at the star of this scientific show: resonance. Resonance happens when an object receives a periodic force matching its natural frequency, like pushing a child on a swing at just the right moment. Small, well-timed pushes can make big motion. The singing bridge is a massive swing set waiting for the right push. Its wooden planks and metal frames each have natural frequencies set by length, thickness, density, and tension. Wind through the valley creates swirling eddies, vortices, that make rhythmic pressure pulses as air moves past railings and supports. If those pulses match a natural frequency, the structure begins to vibrate. This is called aeolian vibration. The same reason telephone wires hum or a blade of grass whistles when blown just right. On this bridge, the long planks are primary resonators. Wind flexes them, energy accumulates, motion grows, and moving wood displaces air. That's the hum you hear. Your footsteps add tiny impacts. Walk steadily and your steps reinforce the resonance. That's why the sound grows or changes as you cross. You are part of the orchestra, and the bridge sings with you. The orchestra of materials. If resonance is universal, why doesn't every bridge sing? Because this structure is an accidental instrument. Its parts tuned just so. Most modern bridges are over-engineered. Engineers remember Tacoma Narrows, and they detune designs to resist resonance, heavier, stiffer, smoother. This older bridge's components landed in the audible range. Specific plank length and density set the pitch. Flexible lattice amplifies rather than damps. And, crucially, joints. The bolts aren't seized, nor perfectly tight. That slight looseness allows micro-movements and stick-slip friction, like a bow on a string. Think of planks as strings. Metal frame as the resonant body. Wind is the musician, and loose bolts as rosin. The flaw gives the bridge its voice. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this journey into science and wonder, please subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who loves a mystery. Have you ever encountered an everyday object that seemed alive? Tell us in the comments. We'd love your stories. A fascinating aspect of the singing bridge is that its song is dynamic. A living instrument played by weather and seasons. Temperature tightens or relaxes tension, shifting pitch. Cold stiffens metal and raises pitch like tightening tuning pegs. Heat relaxes tension and lowers the tone. Humidity matters. Wet wood is heavier, harder to excite. The tone deepens. Dry, brittle wood grows reedy and higher frequency. Wind is the conductor. Steady laminar flow perpendicular to the deck best induces the hum. Gusty turbulence creates chaotic pitch and volume. Time retunes the instrument. Bolts loosen or bind with rust. Wood warps or cracks. Older residents recall a different sound, a living history of slow decay and adaptation. Science explains the song, but it doesn't erase the magic. Legends say the bridge senses the heart of the crosser. Sweet melodies for the kind, dissonance for the cruel. While fanciful, gait reflects emotion. Steady, light steps coax pure tone. Heavy, erratic stomps disrupt resonance. It feels like the bridge is reading souls. Really, it's reading rhythm. Another tale, a lost child calmed by the bridge's hum until help arrived. Personification is natural. Intention-seeking minds paint meaning on a steady, gentle song. The very things that make the bridge sing, its age, materials, and design flaws, also make it vulnerable. As with any aging structure, repairs become necessary for public safety, a difficult dilemma for locals and engineers. Tightening a few bolts or replacing weathered wood could detune the instrument and stop the music. Pragmatists demand safety first. The bridge must function. Preservationists argue the song is a cultural treasure, a landmark, a tourist draw, a source of identity. In many places, compromise begins with study. Sensors identify the components most critical to sound. Targeted repairs strengthen the span while leaving musical parts as untouched as possible. A delicate balance between function and art. The fate of the Singing Bridge rests on careful negotiation, a choice about what we value and will work to protect. The story of the Singing Bridge is more than physics. It reminds us the universe is full of hidden wonders, waiting in plain sight for us to notice. We live amid noise, traffic, notifications, distractions. We have, in many ways, forgotten how to listen. The bridge doesn't shout, it hums, it whispers, it asks us to slow down, to walk gently, to feel subtle forces. Science and magic are two sides of the same coin. The elegant explanation, resonance, aeolian vibrations, stick-slip friction, doesn't diminish wonder, it enhances it. The same physics shaping galaxies can make a simple melody in wood and steel. One day the bridge might fall silent, a repair tightens the last loose bolt, or a storm shifts the frame. The song vanishes, the crossing becomes just a crossing. But the memory remains. The lesson, the world changes. Wonders are fleeting. Seek them while they're here. Tune in to the planet's quiet choir. Next time you cross a bridge or hear wind in the wires or feel a strange vibration, pause. Listen closely. You might uncover a quiet secret. The Singing Bridge is one voice in a planetary choir. All we have to do is learn to tune in. If you enjoyed this journey, please subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment below. Would you repair the bridge to make it safe but silent, or find a way to preserve its song? Thank you for listening.